Martin Street. Ashimi. You're very welcome to Martin Savage's World of Judo. And we've been talking last week to Martin, and this is in a kind of way bringing me back through the years, because once upon a time in Newry, with Martin and John O'Hanlon and people like that, we were involved in judo. My girls all grew up around judo for a time in their lives, along with Jacqueline McGee. Good memories of time long gone, and they're used back in the, Martin will tell us in a moment just how long ago it was. There was a hall, a parish hall at the back of the Downshire Road Presbyterian Church, and that's where we went to train and to practice our judo. Judo, of course, one of the great self-defense disciplines on the planet. And I get to thinking, if the world was practicing judo, if the world was doing what Martin Savage does, there would be no trouble in Gaza, the Ukraine, Palestine, anywhere else. We would have a world where men and women work together in disciplined works of sport and enthusiasms for activity that they bring and make their own. This work for all the way from Japan. You will not hear a lot of commentary now, because Martin is going to join me on the mat, and we're going to do a few things that you can observe. And as I say, going back a few years. Martin, come and join me if you would. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Now, what we're going to do is a couple of throws, and then we'll do some close work on the mat.
Okay.
That all right? Now I'm going to take my microphone off. This is the last you'll hear from me for about 5 minutes. You may pick up the roars of pain that will come from me. And here we are. Now, Martin, come. The hold is like so.
Collar sleeve, yes.
Collar and sleeve. Yes. Okay, collar and sleeve.
And this
collar
is
and sleeve.
Soto Otashi.
Soto Otashi.
Otashi.
Yeah. Try it once more. Okay. Well done. Now we'll try for the close work on the floor. Now you've got me. You're holding here, yeah? Yeah. We're still holding. Yeah. Now you're going to try and get me from there, are you? Where?
Put your arm around my head.
Around your head. Okay.
And pull this under your arm.
Pull which? Yeah. Now you've got me.
No, you've got me.
I'm good, you. He let me have that one, I tell you. Let's go again. That's good. Now. Yeah, you got me. Okay. Go again.
Two legs.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, that's the Cardassian death grip, I think. Yeah. Okay. Right. Shall we sit up and chat?
Good idea.
Have a seat there. Oh, get our breath back. Where's your microphone? Get it, boy, here, you sit tight. We get you settled first. Here we are. Here am I. Wow.
Won't work.
Thank you for that. You really did take me back there, I tell you, which was good.
You enjoyed that?
I enjoyed it because I was kind of remembering the discipline, what we did. And it's about using the body's own weight, balance or lack of balance, in order to achieve what we're after.
Surely. It's the principle of Jew, initially, which is, instead of resisting force with force, use the other person's energy against them. Now, it doesn't work in every circumstance. Kano wanted judo to be built around you, this principle of Jew. But he realized fairly early on that it wasn't going to be an all-pervading principle. Like say, for example, if somebody's got you up against the wall and they're pushing you hard and they're going to hit you, you can't really give way. So you come up with a better, a more universal theory, if you like, one of maximum effect, minimum effort, which meant that it was okay to use strength, but you had to use the minimum amount of strength to produce the maximum amount of effort.
Yes.
So
yes.
it wasn't a matter of bulldozing your way through a situation. It was using the other person's energy if possible, and if not, apply force, but only apply sufficient force to make the technique work.
Yeah. And the whole, remind the people of the origins of judo again, please.
Well, Jigoro Kano was primarily an educationalist, and he realized fairly early on, initially he was a weak child and he was taught jiu-jitsu in order to build up his own strength. But he realized early on with the changing of the lifestyles in Japan, with the samurai being banned and the Meiji Restoration and that type of thing, that jiu-jitsu was a dying art, or dying arts. There's a whole lot of different types of jiu-jitsu. So he thought the way of preserving them was to bring them together, eliminate the more dangerous techniques, and promote them through schools and through education as a means of people keeping fit. He thought that calisthenics and weightlifting and gymnastic exercise were very boring. People would do them. They're extremely boring.
But that's not boring what we were doing there.
That's exactly what it was. He saw this as an opportunity to keep people fit, but doing it in an interesting sort of way. So that became, initially it was called Kano Jiu-Jitsu. But because Jiu-Jitsu had a bad name, because Jiu-Jitsu people were prize fighting, they were going around fairs and taking all comers and that type of thing. It had a bad name. He brought in the term judo instead of Jiu-Jitsu. And it was a different philosophy anyway, because I said last week, the do meant a path of enlightenment, a path of becoming a better person, as opposed to just techniques for fighting with.
Yeah. You're still teaching in Warren Point.
Still teaching our dojo in Warren Point, yes.
But of course you were a teacher by profession until your retirement.
Yes.
You were in St. Mark's.
In St. Mark's. I taught science there for 37 years.
Wow, science. Yeah. You must be thrilled this morning at Rosetta, the comet chaser, out in the asteroid belt, closing in on the comet, and she's going to put harpoons down into it.
Is that right?
And it's going to pull it down to see whether comets and asteroids were the source of the planet's, our planet's water.
Yes.
So that must thrill you as a scientist.
Yes. I think I read an interesting fact there about that we are the molecules and the atoms that make up our bodies were once stars.
Oh yeah,
which have been regenerated.
Absolutely. I sometimes say that death will bring us back to our stellar mass of our beginnings, which is
that
the
is
whole
a
thing.
very poetic way of putting it.
Yeah. But this has been a discipline with you all of your life.
Since I was about 10, 11. Yeah.
Now you're very strong. You're very good at what you do. In terms of you with an equal opponent, man of your age, your size, your strength, whatever, your experience. What's the secret of winning and getting it and putting him down, whatever?
I always say, if I take it the reverse side of that, I always say it, as far as competing with kids and wrestling with kids, when I say kids, 19, 20 years old.
Yes, of course.
It's old age and cunning overcomes youth and enthusiasm. And I think you've put your finger on it. It's a matter of conserving your energy.
Yeah.
Because I would train on Sunday morning, we do, what we said earlier, could be called a wrestling session. We call it randori in judo, which is free fighting. And you're on with people who are using all their strength all the time. And within about 10 seconds, they're puffing and blowing. Their arms are tired. And I wouldn't be like that. Not because I'm fitter than them, but because I conserve my energy better. And it's a matter of conserving your energy, knowing when to use it, when not to use it.
Will there come a time when Martin Savage will be unable to do judo because of age and or infirmity?
I've been in Japan and watched 80 and 90-year-olds, training. Now, they're not training to the same extent that young people would train. Most of the time they sit on the mat like this and rub their knees, and then they'll get on, they'll wrestle a bit, and then they'll come off. But they're still there whatever number of times during the week. So, providing I can still stand, or even kneel.
Yeah.
Like we did there this morning, I have a bad knee, much like yourself. I can't do very much judo standing up, but I can certainly fight on the ground.
On the ground,
And at the moment, I don't see that ending anytime soon.
That's good. That's a huge thing. Now, as I said at the beginning of this, for me it was a family sport. Myself and my daughters went and we enjoyed it many years ago.
We started in the Belfast Road about 1978.
Yeah.
And we were there until about 1981, 82.
Yeah.
So it was
Midway
It was
there.
somewhere in about that. I
Yeah.
would say 79 would probably be
Yeah.
that sort of time we're talking about, yes.
So we were a family going to
Yes.
it. Is it still a family sport?
Uh, yes, to a certain extent. It's probably a family sport in the sense that there'd be maybe brothers and sisters would go.
Yes.
Right. We don't get very many parents coming along with their children. It doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
Although, funny enough, I would run the senior class. Dermot McCall would be the instructor who takes the junior class. And we were talking the other day, and he's thinking of maybe having a parent and child session.
Well, it's been done.
Yeah.
The template's there. It's
Yeah.
been done before.
Exactly, yes.
And it worked
Yeah,
before.
it did work.
And it's brought me still with an enthusiasm onto the mat with
Yes.
you today.
Well, there was you and your daughters, and do you remember Geoffrey Pollock?
I do.
Yeah, Geoffrey had his daughters as well. In fact,
Yeah.
he was the one who got us that hall in the Belfast Road.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I'm 71. Waste of space thinking about training.
No, never. Never. You enjoyed that.
Oh,
on
totally.
the ground.
Yeah.
You could still do that. You know,
Yeah.
you've got to work within your limitations.
Yeah.
I have limitations. I've got to work within those. But providing you know your limitations and you're prepared to work in them, I think there's an attitude that if you get an injury or you can't do something the way you did it before, that you give up. You stop. Yeah, and you see this in all the sports, which are purely sport orientated.
Yes.
If winning is the big thing and you can no longer win, then you pull out.
Yeah,
You retire.
certainly for me, running is impossible because of my joints. Running is also for me boring. Swimming is boring because I can swim.
Yes.
I can almost walk on water, so
Yes.
it's boring. I can do it.
So we've been told, Ron.
I've done a few things on water, I can tell you. I so enjoyed all of that
Yeah.
in my life.
Yeah.
But it would be very beautiful as a means of certainly an hour of once a week
Yeah.
of mobilizing
Absolutely.
within the context of my ability.
Absolutely. Yeah. That a lot of people do that. A lot of people who have knee injuries or hip injuries would resort to going back onto the ground and just
Yeah,
training on the ground.
and doing that,
There's no
yeah.
impact.
Yeah.
And they're not putting any strain on, certainly not on their knee joints anyway.
Yes, yeah.
And if you've got an elbow injury or an arm injury, the person you're training with, you just don't let them arm lock you.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah. That could be more difficult than it
Well,
sounds.
when you say when you have an agreement to start off with,
Yeah.
you sort of say, "Look, I have sore arms. Just
Yeah, so watch that.
just watch that."
It's a gentlemanly kind of thing.
It-
Because we bowed to each other at the beginning of it.
Yes. But some people have issue with that, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
There's a girl who took a case against one of the American.
Oh, my mic is gone. Thank you, Andrew. Go ahead.
There was a girl who took a case against one of the American Judo Associations.
Yeah?
Because as part of a judo contest, you're supposed to bow coming onto the mat, and she saw this as being a religious
Oh,
act,
God.
which she was not going to get involved in.
Yeah.
And it's not a religious thing. It's to show respect. It's an demarcation, if you like, from your outside life outside the dojo to what you're going to do now. It marks a transition, if you like, from leaving your everyday cares behind and coming onto the mat.
Well, look, what we'll do now, if we may, we'll have another 3 or 4 minutes on the mat, working together on the mat and see where we're going. Andrew, if in about 4 minutes' time you would mix from us fighting on the mat into music, and then we'll be finished for this week. You'll come back again to me, won't you?
I will indeed.
Okay.
I will
Now we'll
indeed.
take our mics off and prepare to do a wee bit more work on the mat. There we are. Right, here we are. Put that over there. That's good. Ease. So general moving first of all.
Yeah. Collar sleeve. And,
Collar sleeve.
and stay totally relaxed.
Totally
Keep your
relaxed.
body upright. And just, you can slide your feet. Right? Yeah, that's it. That's perfect. Right. Moving around, and you get back into this collar. You just relax your arms.
Okay.
You see, if you hold your arms tense,
Yeah.
and you come to move.
That gives you a straight
Yes.
ramrod.
And when you come straight into me, what you
Yeah.
actually do is you knock me back.
Oh, yeah.
So you're actually knocking me further away. So really what you should do, relax the arms, and when you go to make your attack, instead of pushing,
Yeah.
right, pull me in.
Pulling you in.
And then attack.
Wow.
That's it. Yep.
There we are. We're up again. Right.
Now another one you can do,
Yeah.
is if you just swing your left leg around behind you.
My left round behind me.
Yeah. And put your right leg across the front of mine.
Across the front.
Yes, and just pull the sleeve here.
Pull the sleeve. And we're down.
Tayatoshi.
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 Tayatoshi. Yeah. And this is the movement. I like the movement. Just
Yeah.
so I'm actually interpreting what's going on.
Yes. You've got to make your attack in line with my movement. So you
Oh, yeah.
If you attack the wrong time,
Yeah.
say for example, if I'm standing like this,
Yeah.
and you try and pull me that way.
I can't. That's stopping.
That's stopping me.
Yeah.
Or equally, if you can't push me back
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
this back leg.
But if I go like so,
Yes,
and then go.
you've swatted it because what you've done is you attack my weak line.
Yeah.
So while I'm very strong that way,
Yeah. But you're not going back.
I'm very weak this way.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, let's
so,
get
So
down.
if I step forward,
Yeah.
and you just step in behind, yeah.
Okay. We'll stay on the mat, shall we?
Yep. Yep.
Same.
Yep.
Yeah. Now this is good for my posture and my
Yeah.
spine as
Yeah.
well, believe it or
Now
not.
just stay relaxed.
Okay, I'm
That's
relaxed.
it. That's it. So if you try and pull me, right?
See,
I will use
I'm
that.
destroying
I
myself
will
there.
use
I
that.
felt that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or if you try and pull me to the side.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gone.
I'll use that.
I can feel it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm using what you're doing.
Okay.
So push.
And we're done.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm over.
Yep.
And that's it there.
Now you can keep that. Now,
Okay, now you're coming back at me.
if you bring your right leg over the top. There, that's it. Yeah. And that's tight. Stay on your knees.
Stimonies.
I can break that hold
Okay.
by moving your leg down. Well, maybe move your leg down. Or else go.
Yeah. Music, maestro, please. Hey, well done.
You enjoyed that too much there, right?